Ladies and gentle gamers, welcome back to To Be Determined. In today's video, we're going to be ranking every major Skyblock update. So the 0.1 through 0.20 updates, I believe, is the last one we got was Glaciate Tunnels. So we are currently in 0.20.1 when I'm making this video. So we're going to be ranking all of these, and we're going to be going from the GOATs at S+ to bad at C. So make sure to subscribe, like if you haven't already, and if you want to make your own tier list, there's a link in the description. Alright, so starting off with Skyblock, new PTL game. And I don't want to just think about these updates as like what was the state of the game during this stage. I also want to think about all of the things that they added, which the first Skyblock update added the most things in the game, which I mean, you start off with like 5 skills, and we had, your private island, we had minions added in, all of this crazy stuff. That's an S+, like no doubt. The release of the game, none of these other updates would happen. That is a big one. Next up, we have fishing and achievements, which fishing was like the first real major update. I think we might have had a few before that, but I believe this was like the 0.5 update, and it added a whole new skill, added achievements to Skyblock. At this point in the game, fishing though was pretty mid. We didn't have lava fishing, we didn't have a lot of these other mobs. But adding a whole new skill is pretty important, so I do agree with the chat on this. It's very good. I wouldn't say it's awesome, but we'll go with very good. That's a pretty good update. Alright, next up is the guesting update, which, I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but like, this should have been in the game when it released, to be honest. And I don't know what else was really added with this. It's like visit players, and they made a few QOL changes to Bazaar. I'm gonna go with bad. I feel like that's pretty bad. As far as all these updates go, I don't think I could put any of these updates in there. Chat's saying B, which is fair, but like this shouldn't have been its own major update. This should have been like a minor patch. I wouldn't consider this like a major big thing. So I'm going to go with bad. I'm going with bad. Next is the End Island update. So this was the first big island that we got added into the game, I believe. Like we started off with Spider's Den and Barn and all these other ones. So I think personally the End Island update, I don't know if I would put it at S+. I mean, for the time, it was game breaking. The dragon armors were the best in the game for years, and this was the first like really huge update. I think we got to put it at S+. That's a pretty major update. Made the way for E-Man Slayer and for the Primal Dragon update, which we'll hopefully get soon. So yeah, that's a big one. Next up is the Slayers update, 0.7.2. So this one, I'm putting it in S. Like, this update is what really got me addicted to this game. I don't want to put every single update in S+, but this update, personally, this was my favorite update until the Rift came out. And even then, it might still be my favorite update to this day. It didn't have many Slayers, that's true, but I still enjoyed it. And the amount of hours that I spent grinding it, even though we didn't have like Rev T5s or Blazes or E-Man, it was still a lot of fun. It's an S+. Next up is the Foraging Island update, which is the park revamp, basically, which I don't even remember what the old park looked like, I'm gonna be honest. But I mean, honestly, it's pretty bad. It was pretty bad. They added the harp with this update. You got to keep that in mind. They added the harp with this update. That is horrible. Garbage. Bad. Alright, next up is the pets update, which was a pretty epic update. I don't think I can put it in S+, but S is pretty good. Added a Ringo and all of the other pets and everything. So personally, I'm gonna put it in S. Made way for a lot of cool perks and things, which I really like. I think I'll do the same for Bazaar, to be honest, because Bazaar is just so much QOL, but it's not like insane, like an S+ worthy, I don't think. Okay, now we're getting to some of the good stuff. We got dungeons, which at this point, I can't remember how bad it was when it first came out, but it definitely wasn't on the level that we're at right now. I think it was only like the first 3 floors when this came out, but dungeons to this day is pretty epic. I'm gonna say it. Chat's spamming S+. They're spamming S+. I don't know. Personally, I kind of lean more towards S, just because solo dungeons wasn't out when this started. Nah, but because we didn't really have all of the best stuff. When this first came out, we didn't even have like Shadow Assassin gear. The best armor in the game was still superior armor when this came out. I'll put it in S+, not because of how good it was when it actually came out, because it really wasn't that good, but what it is now is definitely S+ worthy. Okay, then we've got the holiday update, which was like Winter Island. It added Baby Yeti, and actually, I don't think it added Baby Yeti first year, because I don't think they added winter fishing. Did they add winter fishing at the start? I don't know if they did. I feel like this is our first not worth update. Once they added like Rain Drake and a few more things, it was a bit better, but even now, like, it's not it. I'll be honest, it's not it. Okay, next up is the community center update, which is mayors. I will give this an awesome, I think. I don't know if it's S+ worthy, because again, there's some pretty garbage mayors in the game, but I mean, like Diaz and Foxy, I cannot willingly put this in here with Diaz and Foxy as mayors that are still in the game. S because Aatrox, yeah. I mean, Aatrox, Paul, Cole, there's so many good mayors that made the game so much better. Diana alone is almost worthy of S+. I'll be honest, Diana alone is almost worthy of S+, but just because she's got Foxy and Diaz and Barry at the time dragging her down, I'm gonna put it there. Okay, next up we have the Crimson Isle update, which adds Kudra, adds lava fishing and trophy fishing and a ton of mobs. I cannot put it in S+, I don't think. Way too laggy, that is true. It also added Dojo. I'm gonna put it in A. It added Dojo, which alone is horrible. Trophy fishing also. Like, those two things just drag the rest of the update down, because it's just pain to max those. So 0.14 was Shin's Auctions, the Hex, and RNG meter. Hex is very good. Shin's is too late game, and RNG meter is nice. I'll put it in A, because Hex and the RNG meter are goated, especially for Iron Man players. The RNG meter was very, very good. The problem with this update for me is Shin's Auction. Like, it's good for late game players, I do think, end game players even, but like the items in there are just so expensive, it's insane. So Shin's Auction kind of drags it down a little bit, but RNG meter was very, very good, so I'm gonna put it in A. Next up we have Skyblock levels. Y'all know I gotta put that in S+. Skyblock levels was goated, man. The problem at this time was still bestiary and crop milestones. I don't think crop milestones have been added yet, but bestiary was pretty rough, but this made way for the Skyblock level system we have right now, which is really, really good. I'm very happy with what it's at. So this one we gotta put in goated. Next up we have Kudra revamp, as well as End Island changes, which I think was, what did they do? They added like Zealot Bruisers and things, I believe, with this update. Kudra revamp, I'm gonna put it in S, I think, because a lot of people still don't like Kudra, which I get, but it's too late game, put it in A. I mean, just because it's late game doesn't make it bad, you know? If I put every late game update at a lower tier, then I don't think we'd have anything. Put it in A, chill. I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, just being able to get all of the infernal things easier was such a big deal. You just did because Shin. I put Shin in there because it's not even like, it doesn't help. It's just a money sink. Whereas Kudra, you actually get like infernal armor, which is the best in the game. And this made it so much easier. Like, you used to, before this update, the best way to get essence was by lava fishing. It wasn't even by doing Kudra. So this definitely deserves S, just for making infernal gear possible for like literally anybody who wants. You just gotta grind a little bit and you'll get it. So this was a major deal. Didn't make like infernal gear only acquirable by the top 10 players on the server, so definitely deserves an S. Next up we have the Dwarven Mines update, which was pretty game breaking. This was like the first major skill revamp, I feel like. I think we had enchanting before this, but Dwarven Mines was pretty goated, I'm not gonna lie. C, I don't like mining. C, I don't like mining. Nah, but S. I feel like Dwarven Mines was very good. The problem with it that a lot of people have is the commission system in Dwarven Mines is pretty boring. They just go around and grind mithril for hours and hours and hours. But I think it deserves an A for sure. Like, it added in a bunch of drills and things. I don't think we had Devon armor with this update yet, though. Gemstone Gauntlet was pretty cool. We didn't have any gemstone things though. What this really did was just added Heart of the Mountain to the game and didn't really give you a reason to do it, because the reason now is to get gemstones and things like that. But at the time, before Crystal Hollows, I don't think this was very, very good. The problem with it also was how long it took them to make this. This was like a 6-month long update where we got nothing until then. It was pain. So I'm going to put it in A. It was very good. Took too long to make though. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and do the Crystal Hollows, which I do think was awesome. It added the Crystal Nucleus. Nucleus runs are kind of goated, and it added all the gemstones and things, which is pretty awesome. I do really like this update. I don't want to put it in S+. I'm tempted to, just because it added in the Devon's alloy, but I'm gonna put it in S for now because it was very good. But it is still mining, it is still very grindy, and the problem at the time was you could get griefed, which did happen to me quite a few times, so we're gonna leave that in there. Glaciate Tunnels update. I don't think I can put it in S+. It is very, very good, but again, it is another like major money sink, I feel like. Put it in B, not worth? Ain't no way, dude. We didn't even know this update was coming out because we had so many updates coming out like before it, so for them to not really be focusing on this update, to add Heart of the Mountain 10 with better commissions was a lot of fun. Mine Shafts is a lot of fun. I'm going to put it in S. I think it's about the same level as Crystal Hollows as far as fun goes. Plus, I mean, you can gamble, so, you know. Next up, we have the Rift. S+ for sure. The Rift was goated. Like, I'm kind of biased because this gave me a lot of clout for making the Rift guides. That was kind of a major blow up point for me. So definitely worthy of S+. Again, it is kind of a one-time playthrough, but you can do it on multiple profiles if you want to. And I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. C, still haven't gotten a burger. That's fair, but I'm still putting it in S+. Takes 3 hours, then there's nothing to do, too little content. Ain't no way you did the entirety of the Rift in 3 hours. You got Prism in 3 hours. Ain't no way. Alright, next up we have the Garden, which, problem with this update, man. Inflation is so bad because of this update. Farming is a lot more fun, but inflation is so bad. And it added crop milestones, and I don't know, man. Macroers just can take so much advantage of this is the major issue. Cookies are at 11 million coins right now. Exactly. That is the big issue, which they added pests to kind of handle that a bit better. So I do think there's not nearly as many macroers now as there were when this first came out, but still the tiniest amount of effort. You can literally not be even looking at your screen. You can watch a movie and make like 17 million coins an hour. At launch it was a C, now it would be S. I don't even know if I'd put it at S now, I'm gonna be honest. I'll put it, based on what it is now, I'm gonna put it at very good, because I put it around the same level as Dwarven Mines. It is not as fun as Crystal Hollows or Glaciate Tunnels. It makes a lot of money, and it makes farming a lot better than it was. I do think pests and visitors are a lot more fun than it would have been, you know, just sitting on private island. A lot of false bans. I mean, that may be true, but that's kind of their own fault. If you get false banned for grinding out the garden because you weren't paying attention to your screen, that's kind of on you. The problem with this ranking is it just depends on which skills you like. I mean, that's why it is my tier list, to be fair. Y'all can make your own if you want to. Again, there's a link in the description. If you disagree with this tier list, that is completely fine. But yeah, I think that this tier list I'm pretty happy with. You can see there's not many bad updates. We've got 2 bad updates, 1 not worth update. Everything else is very good and up, which I think says a lot about the game. I really do enjoy this game. I really do. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a few bad updates, but I think this is a pretty good ranking. Again, if you guys disagree, you can feel free to make your own. There is a link in the description. Let's just hope Forging is S+ when it drops. True. That would be very nice. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the next one. Have an amazing rest of your day, and God bless.